and welcome back to another episode of the Friendship.
Oh, sorry. One more time. I'm just waving.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the
Friendship University
Podcast. You know, the podcast we come here week after week telling y'all how important people are in your lives. They're your greatest resource. And we are just on here giving lessons, trying to get accredited. And you know how we get accredited? Like, comment, share, subscribe. Okay, send to the last 5 people that you texted in your phone, even if it was just a hookup, because you know what, they could still use a hookup in a lesson because class is in session.
Oh,
I love it. And I did what I can.
She did that.
I did what I can. That was off the
End
dome.
of the season, and you finally got
Thank
it.
you.
No.
Yeah, I did, but you could just call me out.
Oh, you did. It took a while, but you finally got it.
I don't even know what I be doing. Y'all, I don't watch these tapes back. I should. I really should be watching myself back. I just can't. I don't, but I will. I think I should.
You should.
I watch some of
It's
them.
really entertaining. I laugh again.
I
laugh again. A whole nother
laugh.
thing.
Laugh.
Laugh,
You funny.
laugh.
Yeah, but we are in for another week, and we are so thankful to be here. I'm Kristen. If you don't know, I'm joined by my lovely co-host Tara, the quintessential beauty of 2025. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, give it up.
Doing an applause for yourself.
Yes, though, but we're so happy to be here. We hope that Black History Month has been great to you and you've enjoyed the past episodes that we talked about. Again, like, comment, share, subscribe. She's giving 90s fine, 90s realness if you don't get it.
It's giving very
It's
much
giving
SWV,
dun 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 dun
escape.
dun dun dun. It is giving escape. Dun, 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 dun. Every man wants a woman.
Candy said, listen, I'm finna leave sing. I don't care what y'all say.
And she
ate it up. She did her thing.
Let me tell you something. And this is about taking what's yours.
What's
yours? She said, I'm going to make it. Even after they stop, she said, so I'm going to write songs.
Period.
And you know what? I'm here for it. I think a couple of people have done that before. Mm-hmm. But you know what? Do what's right for you and take what's yours. Okay, baby? It's Black History. Just take it. It extends way past February. Every month of the year. Y'all take what's yours. You doing okay?
I'm doing well. Grand. Phenomenal, even.
Phenomenal? We're doing phenomenal. Phenomenally is what we're doing.
How about you?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing great, actually.
I'm doing
it. Doing it well.
What are you doing well? What is it that you're doing well?
It. I don't know what else to say. Anywho, so we are back for another episode, and we are gonna play. I can't even call it a game because I just really wanted to ask. We're gonna play a fictional game. We're going to maybe depending on what you say, it could be a little bit of a manifestation.
Never know.
And by manifestation, we talk to. And by manifesto, we mean manifest God.
God.
Don't ever want to get it twisted. Anywho, so any art realm you think about?
Art realm. Mm-hmm.
Creative realm.
Okay.
Anyone you could work with. Cooking, fashion, makeup, singing, songwriting, producing.
Oh, that's really cool.
Anybody you can think of.
Okay, I have a list.
Who would it be?
They have to be dead, alive.
They could be alive or dead.
Or dead.
Mm-hmm. Alive or no longer with us.
That I want to work with.
That you would want to work with. on whatever project you see fit.
How many people do I get? I'm have to make
3.
like create the top team.
Yeah,
like
starting 5.
Starting 5.
Let's do our starting 5. We're doing the starting 5 of creativity.
Like, is this just like people like I want to collaborate, or my team, like my producer?
No, these are people you want to collaborate on specific things. They're not working together.
Oh, okay.
They don't have to be in
You
collaboration.
Starting 5, they're
but starting together. 5 means like this is your team. Yes, they're all working together for you, but they're working for you in different arenas.
Okay, producer.
Mm-hmm. And it could be anything. If you want to do art, whatever, like visual arts, whatever. You're starting 5.
Okay, somebody that I've been wanting to work with, who's alive, who I feel like one day I could manifest this, God willing, is Flavor. Do you know who that is?
No.
He's a Afrobeats, really big Afrobeats person.
Okay.
Yeah, he's amazing. Like,
I can see
his
that.
songs make me want to dance. His songs are just like full of flavor. Like, they have so much swag, and
come on,
they're just
Flavor.
But they're like positive, and they're like fun. They're not like nasty, weird. Like, they're just positive,
nice.
Fun. That's somebody I want to work with. I kind of want to. I would love to meet. I don't know if I want to work with them. I mean, I think I want to work with them. I would love to meet Rodney Jerkins. Like,
what out of the meeting would you get? You just want to talk to him?
I want. He seems like I could vibe with him, but I would love to, like. I think I want to work with him, but I've only heard one style.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I can see that.
Not like within his scope. So I don't really know that I fit that.
Right.
But I would just love, I'd be curious to know like what he's doing now, because I haven't heard his stuff in a while.
Fair.
I just really think Pharrell is very interesting.
Absolutely.
I really think he's so interested in fashion, music. I would love to hear like his perspective, things he's learned, you know?
Which probably be so much at this point.
Like, be crazy.
Like 30 plus years in the game.
Yeah, fashion, everything. I love to meet CeCe Winans. I know.
You really like the
I
Winans.
love the Winans family. Can I put them all in one? I just love the Winans family. I think they're just like, how do all your kids can sing like that, and like really like amazing. They just can't sing, they can sing. And
That's
they've
fair.
done it over years, decades and decades.
That's another story I would like to see.
And you know, they're not all on drugs. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
You think about people like
the DeBarges.
Love me.
Who can all like sing, but it's like hardship.
But they all, you know, were, you know, got addicted to substance. But all of these people can sing. They have families, and, you know, godly people. So that's like, that blows me away still. I'm still like mesmerized by them, you know?
And CeCe Winans is so sweet.
She is
I've never met her, but she seems
cousin.
So on the front line. Tell him what you want. Like, she's on speed dial. She seems so sweet.
She, like, is God.
God is like...
He love her.
You know how people got too busy and they was like mixing? Like, he took a time with making that one.
CeCe, what you think? You know, I think, you know what I'm saying? I think they really have deep conversations.
Should I give him the flood or no?
I was not ready for that. Not the flood.
I do believe that. I believe CeCe Winans really be. I believe that because she seems so sweet.
God and her. Like,
I love her. I love CeCe.
No, it's that they tight. I believe. Yeah, I don't know. I just really love the Winans.
Yeah.
Of
Okay.
course, I love Whitney Houston, but it's like I don't want to sing on a track with you because, like,
But would you want her to like help you vocally? Like if she could
yes,
be your vocal
yes,
coach.
yes, like be my vocal coach. Like, tell me all the stuff you do. Like, that's 100% true. Yeah,
I could see
100%,
that.
100%. Tell me everything that I need to know that helps you be like the most bestest singer ever, ever, ever.
Okay.
And I know I'm past my five, but I definitely want to meet Michael Jackson for sure. Like, I don't care. Like, teach
He
me
gonna make his way.
everything that you, because he just seemed like so interesting and like so the way his brain, he was so intentional about all his stuff. Like, I want to hear all the stories about Thriller, everything. I want to hear all the stories about everything. Like, I would just be
I
quiet.
want to hear the stories about Thriller. I
I want
want
to
to
hear all the stories about all the things and about all. I want to hear everything. Like, I want to know. So, it's not necessarily. I guess my mind doesn't automatically go to work with like Flavor. I want to work with in real life. I want to work with him. Yeah, I would want to work with Flavor. I like Dante Bowe. I like him a lot. I met him though, but I never like worked on music with him,
Yeah.
like personally. But it's something about him, like he's very creative. Like his songwriting is so impactful and so really, heartfelt and like he takes risks, which I like. And sometimes
Which a lot of people don't.
Yeah, sometimes you get bashed for it, but I like it. Like,
Yeah.
I like that he takes risks and does different types of music, and I love that. But he's a gospel at heart, and I feel the same way. But I also feel like that we can tell different stories, and that if you read the Bible, all these different books of the Bible from all these different perspectives, and that God is not limited, So I like him a lot. But I definitely need to see Whitney. I definitely need Michael. I definitely would love to work with Flavor. For sure. For sure, for sure.
For
And
sure.
I like Dante. I love Chandler. But I just like Dante's like whole style that
That makes sense.
he like tries different things and dances
Yeah,
and sings
and people don't take risks a lot.
yeah, he does different types style.
Yeah.
Like his album, his most recent album, it was like different styles of music, like all different styles of songs. So I like that.
Cool. I love that.
What about you?
Um.
I kind of want to talk to Missy Elliott, but
Yeah. So Missy Elliott's on my list.
I figured.
Missy Elliott is definitely like, just because like, how's your mind so futuristic?
Right,
Like,
very much so.
where you don't, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and I'm saying this not just from a place of nostalgia, but just having like literally recently seen her, and it's still
like that. Yeah.
Where are you going?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, how are you thinking about these things in your show that people have not already indoctrinated into their shows, which makes no sense because we have all the technology, but you're thinking about it and you're just doing it a different way. Missy Elliott definitely is on my list. Pharrell for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I just think there is this, for me, Pharrell is he is this kind of like firecracker kind spirit kind of thing that's kind of like makes me feel like similar to me. Like, I just you love people, but you also take what you do very seriously.
Yeah, you could tell that.
And I'm gonna do what I need to do to get to where I need to go. So I just work ethic, what happened, like what are your things, what goes on. And if you haven't, again, I will tell you the Lego movie he did, phenomenal, great film to take to, I think it's age appropriate for the most part. I mean, some songs with Snoop Dogg come up, but they're like kind of bleeped and censored. But great film if you're looking as an adult to get inspired. I would say, probably like a Spike Lee.
Oh wow, yeah.
To talk to, because Spike Lee had this way of always bringing it home, and what I mean by that is like 90% of what you watched of his film, he brought it back to Brooklyn. It was like, you gonna see it, even if the film, like, it's gonna be like this quintessential shot, it's gonna be this quintessential scene, like something that's gonna like bring that a roundabout, and I would love to know how to do that, like that honiness of honing in on your style and your home. That's three. Probably,
I know one.
probably like I. So I've met her, I've talked to her, but like maybe like an Issa Rae.
I know he was gonna say
For
Issa Rae,
sure.
for sure.
She's kind of coupled into Spike Lee for me too, because they have similar ways of bringing it back home. Like they do really great jobs of telling the story where they are, but bringing people into
that.
the world
really
of where
did.
they are.
I didn't never felt like I was in LA.
Exactly, you feel like you're
in,
there.
and
The shots,
I never
the
been there.
music.
I was like, oh, I get a
I'm
feel
a
for it.
big. I am a firm believer
The
that
soundtrack,
soundtrack, the music that you put to whatever
crazy.
you
That
do,
was crazy.
definitely changes anything. And so I would love to hear who she partnered with, how she decided to partner with, what she was looking for, just all these like different like adjectives that she used. It would really be great, because it's gonna sound crazy, but in my mind, when I'm writing, I always think about music in the sense of like what goes with this. I'm thinking about
sure.
And you
and
know
the shots
the
shots
are so great.
Yeah, for sure.
They're different. They're great, and they're different. Like Spike Lee came out with these shots. He's like close up, and then he's doing these things, and he's showing people like with this craziness happening. Then you know what I'm saying. He's shooting in on jewelry and just like and callbacks. Like there are such great callbacks in these bodies of work, and you know a callback in a short definition is you see something at one moment, and then later on, way later on, it comes back, and it's the closing of it. So you may see a gun, you may see a gun on a nightstand, right? And then you see the same gun killing somebody in like 3-4 scenes down the line, right? Dope. So it's like a callback. I love that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so, and just being able to like that ability to leave things to interpretation, but then just close it up.
When people tell me
just close it up though. So like we started Insecure, we're thinking about this one thing, which it was like this lady, and then it ends with this probably actually was really about her friendship with this person. And so this is what the most important thing was to her. And we didn't see that in season 1. We actually probably didn't even see it in season 2.
That coming.
Right. We started seeing it in like the later seasons. And so I love that. Same with Spike Lee. He does that really well.
I need to watch that again.
It's a great show. I recently started over. I will say some of the episodes are a little tough for me to watch, just because personally some of the things that are happening, and then I'm trying to say holy, y'all.
It's not.
I was about to say I'm trying to say holy, and I'm trying to have nobody on this couch that's not Tara, where nothing's happening, and
it's not holy, but it's some parts that just cinematography and
it is phenomenal. And I want to be able to do what Issa did, which is put artists that people normally would not have listened to on. And it's not to say that they're just like super indie, but they're indie, and you're like putting people on. I specifically know one person who was on the soundtrack of 3 seasons of Insecure. They are an Atlanta artist. I remember going to their shows, 3 people in the crowd, covering them. Great artists, love their music. Growing up and getting on Insecure and blowing up, and the doors are just like endless for them now, and they're just like doing. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I would love to be able to do that, to open those doors and be that, you know what I'm saying? Because everything doesn't have to look like an open door, what you think open door would look like. You just don't know.
You don't know.
If you could put someone on HBO soundtrack, you know what I'm saying? Crazy. Millions of people looking at it, and then people going back and watching it. Yeah. So that for sure, man. I would probably say also to, I would have to say on the same vein, probably like a Quentin Tarantino. He is, even though he really be obscenely putting the N word places it don't need to be. It don't need to be. You didn't need to say the N word that many times in Django, but even though it was funny, but you didn't need to say that. You didn't need to say that many times, and but just thinking about again shooting style, writing, who he is, and like where your mind is going. How are you thinking about this? Like, do you see the full story first, and then what happens? And just like I love master. I'm getting into master classes. Like, I just want to hear, impart into me. I am a learner. I'm a forever learner. Yeah, I will listen.
Yeah, for sure.
That's why it's like a podcast right up my alley, because I've been listening to podcasts for like 15, almost 20 years at this point, when they were nothing, when people didn't know about them. So I love that. Radio, all that. I just want to learn. And he has this way of like making things that aren't funny.
I like that. Like the house slave.
Samuel L. Jackson
was
is
hilarious,
like,
but he wasn't really supposed to be funny. That was not supposed to be funny, but baby,
but
that was
it's
funny
like,
to me.
and then the shot like closes in, and it's like, you know what I'm saying?
That's
it's
hilarious.
like so crazy. And even when they're sitting at the table with Leonardo DiCaprio, he brings the knife out, and then it's like zooming. It's like, where's your mind going? How are you thinking about? Because he's doing the production too. You know what I'm saying? He's writing, he's doing the producing, he's looking at all these things from every different angle. So like, what's going on? And like, I'm learning production as I'm getting a little bit more affluent in the field. So learning from these greats are great. I would say honorable mention probably is Michael Jackson for sure.
For sure.
I just need to know
what was up in there.
What was there?
I got to know.
So when you saw the moonwalk,
Quincy Jones though,
Quincy Jones probably
honorable mention. I would love to talk.
Learn
from Quincy Jones, but he was just like an anomaly though. Like,
but anomalies can still impart.
Yeah, he's just like. I mean, but I would have to level up to even understand what he's saying though, because he was he did orchestra.
He was a songwriter. Yeah. A little bit.
He's a composer, so
yeah.
I would have to up my game to understand what he was.
Composers are different.
Yeah, but on the production side, I could feel like I could, really enjoy what he has to say. But definitely Michael, like, who doesn't want to learn from? He's the best
I just want to learn from the greatest. I just want to know what. So when you saw and you said, "I'm gonna do this moonwalk here,"
how did you?
What was envisioned in your head?
Like, how did
it match? Did it exceed?
Yeah, how did this?
Did it make you want more because they didn't give you what you needed? Because they crowd went wild. The crowd goes wild.
How did that come to be?
When you do Thriller, when you're like, okay, I want to make like a mini
movie.
When you make that movie with that robot, what is your mind?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I just want to know.
And it's like he do the lean with the white suit. Because if y'all don't know.
Old gangsters, I do know he used to like that type of movie. But still, it's just like, that's just crazy.
Also something too, which is crazy, because I want to know, why was your rider all KFC? Because on his rider, it was like, every meal, you want KFC 2-piece. With this and this and this. It's KFC?
Yeah, he like KFC chicken.
Yeah, shut down KFC. Like, what's that about? Is KFC giving you something?
From Indiana.
Is KFC big in Indiana? I don't know. I just have questions that need answers, for sure. So that is my list. I don't really have much to offer from Whitney Houston or give her, or I don't know if she can give me anything, but I really love to talk to her.
Sure.
Sit down. Yeah, maybe just figure it out. So great. I love that. That is a great list. And hopefully some of this is manifesting itself for you to be able to work with these people in the future. For real, if you're watching. Sure. Oh, yeah. We love your work. And we would love for you to partner with us if you would like. Because we see you like the partnership. So.
And then I think I like to see people evolve, and I feel like he
evolution for sure,
grow and challenge himself as an artist, and I think that's amazing.
And a lot of people don't do that.
Yeah, they just sit and they just are happy, you know. But he always is working on something. Like he's, you know, always. I just think that's.
Because
awesome.
how do you go from NERD to doing your own solo stuff, and now you're on like Pixar? Or is Minions Pixar, or is that Disney?
Then Louis
Wherever,
Vuitton,
and now you're on Louis Vuitton. And now you're just doing all these things with fashion and.
But before
home.
that, he's SWV. That's you. That's you.
Right.
That's crazy.
From the beginning, and you just don't. And in the movie, it talks about how that you would think that would blow him up, but it didn't. And the work that he had to put in after that for people to still see him and value him as a producer, what he could do, and even in his group and what they could do. So great, y'all. Drop in the chat, y'all. Starting 5. Who, living or passed away, would you love to work with in whatever realm, arts, or there are culinary people that I can't even think about right now. There are visual artists.
I had a crush on Bobby Flay.
Bobby Flay.
No, it doesn't really make sense. I don't know why I liked him. I just used to love me some Bobby Flay.
Did you like the way he cooked?
Yeah. And he just seemed like a cool person.
I could have imagined you saying, "Oh, buddy."
He had like some flavor on him. Bobby Flay got a little flavor, no?
If I can be honest, I don't really remember Bobby Flay that much. I see his face in my mind, and I remember him from the cooking channel. But I don't know if I remember his attitude or how he approached things.
He just was confident, I think.
Probably so. So Ramsey was a little too. He was just a jackass.
No. Bobby Flay was
because he wasn't
Bobby Flay was confident, but he was nice still.
Okay.
See, he
that
was
makes
nice,
sense.
But he was confident.
Excellent. Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Also, drop in the chats your unlikely crushes.
Weird crush.
Because I would have never guessed.
What's your weirdest crush? Like, give me a weird celebrity crush. Like a weird, like, unexpected.
I don't know if you remember. Unexpected.
Just like random. Not your real one, but like a random.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I would probably say that I used to have a crush on, and I only say this is unlikely because now that I look back at what he actually looks like with adult eyes, he was very unattractive. But in my kid eyes, I don't know if you remember Ghost Rider.
I remember Ghost Rider, but I don't remember the
black kid from Ghost Rider. I remember
him.
The black kid from Ghost Rider, for whatever reason. And I didn't even grow up looking at Ghost Rider. It just was coming on. I did used to have...
What?
So my grandmother used to watch In the Heat of the Night.
In the Heat of the Night.
And I used to have a crush on that black man.
He was handsome. He was handsome.
I used to have a crush on the man.
I don't remember his
name. I don't remember his name either.
He had like a little curly hair.
No, I don't. He don't think he had like. He was older. Oh, okay. I know who you're talking about. No, I'm talking about the elderly man.
Ew. You know what I used to like? He's a cartoon. Remember Mulan? Oh man, that was a fine.
He was fine.
Man.
I had a crush on the man from the man who Pocahontas get, not John Smith, the one that she left for John Smith. Because why you living that fine man for that man who gonna give you syphilis? I'm sorry. Is that out of control?
I wasn't prepared.
For real. That's what
the native man, he was fine. He was
fine. Mm-hmm. Yep, cartoons actually, yeah, because I used to...
I'm sure a lot of people got a crush on Miss Incredible because the way she was built was
Why are they making these characters like bing, bang, boom? Like...
What was that about? The whole movie, I was like... The body is body. Like, why?
It was like this.
The body's so crazy, going crazy.
Waist was this small and her hips are this big. Like, what's going on?
Too much.
But yes, I can. And I didn't. Okay, I'm gonna say this. It wasn't necessarily a crush. Like I wanted to be with them per se, but I really liked Woody
You just
from
liked
Toy
him.
Story.
Woody and Toy Story. Okay,
Like I
can
was
see
like,
that.
I really want you in my life. Like, how do I make my toys talk so you can be Woody? That's what I wanted.
Woodell. Woodell, that's right here. With, with open arms.
Woodell, I love you. I loved Woody.
Woodell.
I really did love
Woodell,
Woody.
like, listen, I may not be no Woody, but
I didn't necessarily want to be with Woody in
if
a
you don't know who
relationship.
Woodell is, you need to go back a couple
Yeah,
episodes.
Woodell. This is our yes, Woodell.
Our resident mascot. Okay, Woodell.
So, yeah,
Let's put him
that
away.
was probably some of the ones. But thinking back on it, I'm like, that was crazy. I slightly also had a crush on Danny Glover.
Ugh.
Just slightly. Just
Oh my God, Mister!
a little bit.
He was evil.
Before I found out he was evil. I'm so
Oh.
young. I don't know what the H is going on. Why are we watching The Color Purple so young? But it's a staple in the
Mister?
child home. But I was like, he
You
kind
wanted
of
to
looked
be-
like
you
my
wanted to be
granddad.
Suge Avery.
No, he can't. Maybe. I wanted to come.
Should.
I wanted to come put him on it, leave him, and let him ride in the wind and wish for me to come back. And Suge, he was riding down the steps, and Suge coming. You surely is ugly. But just a little. Before I actually understood how evil he was, it was like
He was
he kind of
so
looked.
mean.
He kind of looked like my granddad a little bit, just a little bit. So I was like, "Oh, handsome black man!" Like, oh,
Now
you know
that's
what I'm
a
saying?
weird
When you're
crush.
young, I was probably like 7. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe if that. So I'm just looking at. I don't know what's going on. I don't know that he's doing that. So yeah. That was probably like the weirdest it probably got. After that, I was like,
Normal. It was
yeah,
like normal.
absolutely.
Gotcha.
Jet Jackson.
Jet Jackson.
For
Everybody.
sure.
Every girl.
Jet Jackson was my man.
Not too much on that. Because his girlfriend name was Tara.
You read that in Word Up magazine?
No, it was on the show. The girl he was dating
Oh,
on the show.
it
Played
was
by Megan
Tara.
Good. Played by
That was
Megan
his girlfriend
Good.
that kept being on and off, and then she didn't want to be with him, and then he didn't want to
His
be with her,
name was
and then
Tara.
they went,
Her name
and
was
then
Tara.
they was playing. She wasn't honing in on her man, and you want to know who wasn't playing games? Kristen. That was my man.
I thought he was the finest thing walking. You
thing.
brown skin, got waves, and you got hazel eyes. It's not fair.
And you nice in the show. You
And
sweet.
smart.
You
and
smart.
You got superpowers. You got robot powers.
Hang it up flat screen.
That's it.
We're done.
That's it.
That's it. That's all I need. Yep.
Famous Jet Jackson.
Yeah, it was normal. It's been normal since then. It's even evolved to non-toxicity. Just a little bit. Sometimes I be looking at people like, man, you too fine to be that stupid. But you can't make people's lives, and you can't make them do what they want to do. So, or do what you want to do, for lack of better terms. So, anywho. Oh, let's go. You want to go over the artist corner? You get bored.
Woo!
You getting bored.
Okay, come on, Ron.
Coming over to the artist corner.
Artist corner. The corner
Of
where
the artist.
where the artists find themselves in the corner.
Did y'all do y'all AI homework? We
Did
want to
you?
know. Have you done your health check? Like physically? Have you looked into how much exercise or outdoor activity you're getting? Have you looked into your mental health taking inventory of what is serving you in the positive versus what is serving you in the negative, putting the phone down. I can make you put your phone down. Putting the phone down and walking away and really like honing in on your own thoughts and everything that's happening. And then last time it was inventory about like making
Vision.
sure your vision matches where you want to go and not letting the people you feel like have power over where you can go change that vision of where they're
Absolutely.
going.
Absolutely. I think this week we're gonna talk about the package, the whole package. Um, and when I said that, I'm referring to skill stacking. Have you ever heard that term?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But what does it bring in reference to like
It's when you stack skills on top of each other,
Yeah.
which
Okay.
makes you more
of a powerhouse?
valuable, a powerhouse,
Yeah.
iconic.
Mm-hmm.
And when we look at these people who had these iconic careers, as far as what they were able to create that live on forever and have this amazing legacy, they were very multifaceted, extremely, and they were very committed to learning and stacking skills on top of each other. For example, whether that's, and you may not always be 100 at all of them, but it's okay to add. So we're gonna just, for example, Whitney Houston, the voice incredible, beautiful model, beautiful, actress.
Added that. Mm-hmm.
Actress. She did dance. She would performance
She would.
wise. She
When,
would dance.
in her live performances, she had her little
She
2-step
really did.
for sure. She did
She
her
did.
8 count.
She really did. She was very much. She always, when she performed, everything was together. The makeup was together. The hair was together. The look was together. And she didn't have a problem collaborating. You might think that someone with that amount of talent would be arrogant, but we've seen where she sang background for her friends at the height of her career. So she was humble. So when you add those skill sets together, it makes this like iconic person. I mean, we could look at Rihanna and say Rihanna's not the best singer in the world, but something makes her so like a powerhouse as far as
stood her out.
style.
Yep. Which I think she was. I mean, I'm sure a team helped her, but she was probably really also
Always very
intentional about what she wanted
she
to
said,
wear.
"You might can outdo me here, but you can't outdress me." So
she was right. She was very right.
She took style very important, and then she added on the beauty side of
Which
it.
who saw that coming?
Who saw that coming? She filled a gap that wasn't there. She was one of the first. Fenty was one of the first lines to have that incredibly huge shade range, and then after that, everybody started doing that.
So smart.
Crazy.
We asked for R9, and she gave us 59 shades of Fenty.
Wow, crazy. So you add these skills on top of it, and it makes for this like incredible career. So
great.
It's not about, maybe you might not be the best vocalist.
That's good. Yeah.
But you can be your best version of yourself. Maybe you're
into
not the
vision.
best dancer, but you can do what you do and hone your own style that fits you. Maybe you might not be the best, speaker, but you can do things that reflect you and stack these skills on top of each other, and really what makes this incredible artistry, right? And so and we all, as artists, we all have to do that. And I was kind of complaining to you the other day because I was like, man, I feel like I'm always learning a new skill. Like, and then when you add social media, now it's studio, it is technology, it is lighting, which I already know, it is photography, it's videography, it is angles, it is color, shade, color
Correcting.
correcting, shading. It is editing.
People don't understand how much, and this is why I don't necessarily. We talk about social media and the curate, but it is curation and the respect to the people that do
It's
it.
very,
It's a
it's
job.
a job. It is a job. And not only that, but now you're into writing because you have to market it. The caption is
Man, it's as
it's
important. All
marketing.
yeah,
It's marketing.
yeah.
And now we're into script writing and marketing and branding and like these are all things you have to know as an independent artist to be able to, or know someone that knows. That's why connection is so important. But if you don't have the connection yet, you just have to learn.
Yeah.
And so, but the powerful things is when you stack those skills, it just makes you all the more powerful to be able to share your gift. And so, I would just encourage everybody to just continue to stack the skills. Never get comfortable.
I think that's it.
Never
That
get comfortable.
comfortability. And the if you really look at it, the greatest people never get comfortable.
Never get comfortable.
We
They're
talk about
always,
Rihanna's, the Michael Jacksons, the Beyonces. You talk about those kind of individuals, they never get comfortable where they are.
they're
They're never
always
too afraid to like
trying.
try something different.
They're always trying. They're always working toward something new, creating something new.
Yeah.
And so that might require you to learn something new. Even if you've been in the business for forever, it's a new business now.
It's a new season.
Buying CDs is gone. Now you're
Gone.
into streaming. Now you're into specials. Now
They're
you're
not
into
doing artist
Netflix.
development the way they used to. They're wanting you to already come together and be ready to get on stage and perform.
Stage ready.
And if you get on stage and you bombed and they don't come back and they don't circle back around,
you got to figure it out.
you just have to figure it out.
And so you really have to, hone your skills on your own and put them out and then garner the attention and all that. So never get tired of honing your skill and just continue to invest in your skill. And it's difficult because a lot of times you'll invest and not see an immediate, return on your investment. But just for the sake of the game, some people do it because they love it.
Yep.
You do it because you love it. You do it because it makes you happy. You do it because that's your gift. And you might not see a return immediately. You might go years and years before you see a return. But what else are you going to do?
Right.
That's what you enjoy. That's what you love. And you love creating and putting out art. So keep honing those skills.
Excellent. So keep honing the skills. And that is
And
it.
stack your skills to be your unique
Skill
self.
stacking. That's a good tidbit because people don't think about that. The more valuable you make yourself, and I know it kind of seems
Learn
like
a new instrument. Learn a new
you may think like, well,
skill.
why do I have to like if I have all this talent, why do I have to do all these? But this is how business people do this too. It's
True.
skill stacking.
True.
In corporate America, and I'm telling you as somebody who has been in corporate America for many, many years, like you add to the value that you have to offer, and the more value that you have to offer, the higher you can go, and the more you can do, the more free will you have, because it's like, well, I have all these skills, I can do this, and you can trust me to do XYZ. So I definitely trust skill stacking for sure. Thank you for bringing us into the corner and talking about skill stacking. We have talked throughout the last few weeks a lot about identity, building community, who you are,
Yeah.
expectation setting, all these kind of things. And you all can go back and listen to those wonderful
Go back and listen.
conversations that we've had. And it's not too late to catch up on those study guides. You can listen through and do the work that we have in the end, because who knows, maybe at the end of this semester we have a surprise waiting for you. But yes, so I thought today, as we were having conversations, that it would be important to talk about. We have referenced something that was said on the show we recently listened to about being interested versus being interesting.
Woo! That's a word.
And so, listening,
Listening, the
And like
operative word.
how to truly hear the people around you. Because even we talked about expectations. Like, how do you truly hear that with the ears that you have on your head? Like, what goes into actually hearing what people have to say? What do you think?
Mm. I'm from Chicago, so
Okay.
there's some things I'm gonna say that you're like, I've never heard that before. I think I heard my sister say this one time. She said, "Don't get high off your own supply."
Okay, we've heard that before. To
Drug
be fair,
community.
yes, very, very much so that. And then
Franklin's.
Franklin Saint said that, and The Wire, which I think is Chicago based. I think The Wire may be Chicago based.
But Franklin Saint is not in The Wire.
No, but I was saying like,
also,
I heard that on The Wire as
Okay,
well,
okay.
which a show on HBO that should not have been watching.
But when she said it to me like, don't believe your own hype and don't get so into yourself that you can't come up for air and hear other people.
Okay.
And
so she didn't literally mean.
She didn't
don't
literally mean.
Okay, that's a very much so better meaning.
Yeah, so that's what I
way
meant
better.
with it. That's what I meant with it. So like, come up for air. Get your head out of your armpit. I'm saying it in a way that's nice.
Yeah, I'm sure she didn't say that.
You know, and come up for air and realize that everything is not about you all the time. Like, for the love of God, like, every conversation does not have to be about and center around you and what's happening with you. And like, be genuinely interested in other people, and you miss out when all you want to do is talk about yourself. You miss out on an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to learn, opportunity to connect, an opportunity to, be present with someone. Like, it's not about you all the time. It's just not. And, I know sometimes we're deprived. So when we finally do get to talk to someone, it's like, I want to talk about myself.
Point. That's a good point.
But you have to learn to genuinely care about and listen to others, because you miss out on so many things when you are unwilling to ask other people about themselves and about their stories and about their journey and about the lessons that they've learned. So I literally, hold your hand when I say this. One of my biggest pet peeves in the whole wide world is when there's a wise person in the room, like this person has accomplished so much, and you're talking while they're talking. Shut the flip up.
I can't
Please.
stand that either.
Why are you talking?
This person is an expert.
Why are you even talking and sharing what you know? This is not the time to share your little pitiful information and knowledge of what you know. I'm sorry. I don't care.
I completely agree.
You know that already. Why are you telling them?
Hush.
Hush. For the love of God. Hush and learn. Like, I don't know, because we're both like very invested in learning. Like, that is such priceless to me. Like, when I spend money, most of the time it's on education, something educational.
Yeah.
Like, I've spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on education in many different forms, And so, with the hope of garnering some kind of knowledge that would change my life for the better, and to be in a room with people who have accomplished and who know more than you, and you're over talking them, or you bring them on your platform or interview them and you won't shut up, like, it makes my blood boil. Like, just let them talk.
Can
please.
I say that's one of the reasons I couldn't get behind the Tyra Banks talk show. She just did not let people talk about what she brought them on there to talk about. Why are you interrupting me and asking me these unnecessary questions? Just let me answer and do what I do.
It's so annoying. It's so annoying. Because I just want to hear the wisdom, in what they, and you're interrupting it. Like, it's so rude. But anyway, back to what I'm saying. Like, like you have to know, being able to discern the opportunity to learn. And when you're so stuck on yourself, you're not being a
Man.
student.
Yeah.
You're just wanting to talk, to just, I don't know what you want to do, but you're missing the opportunity to grow. And the only way to grow is if you humble yourself and listen. And I think we have this arrogance we can carry about that we know this person.
And we don't.
We know our friends. She's changing all the time. I'm changing all the time.
I am changing.
Yeah.
I'll be better than I am.
Change me. Yeah, so like it is arrogant to believe that I know everything about her, even though it's my best friend. I know her for 20 years, like, plus, like, she changes. She evolves. Maybe
All
today
the
she don't
time.
like peanut butter no more. She did last week, but maybe she don't no more. How do you know if you don't listen? So it's just like sometimes we can carry this arrogance and we just want to just spew like all the things we just come on. Just let's pull our head out of the clouds, out of our own world long enough to be present. When you're done talking, when you're done being with somebody else, go back home to your world if you want to. That's your business. But like, be present with people, because we miss opportunities for growth. And
I
that's
think
what
so.
life is about. It's about growing and maturing and becoming
Yeah.
better versions of ourselves
I agree.
and having more to offer the world.
What you get from life experiences, and I
Yeah.
think that that analogy of sitting at a person who is a master at something, or in this
What a
wisdom.
privilege.
What
What a
a privilege
privilege.
to sit at the feet of wisdom.
Yeah. What a
You know what I'm
privilege.
saying? Like, I will always pull out my pen and paper
For sure.
and take notes with someone who I feel like has more to offer to me than whatever I thought. And I think some of it has to do with when people interrupt, it's like this needing to insert yourself,
Woo!
this like, we talked about it, validation you're looking for people to kind of like revere you on the same level as this person, when
You haven't paid your dues.
and it's not your moment.
It's not your moment.
Even if you had,
Some
you
level
have
of success.
to
Yeah.
let these people have their moment. And
Yeah.
you know what I've seen great people do in that moment? Like recently
They just let 'em talk.
Recently I saw a clip where Lucky Day was doing a show.
Mm-hmm.
And he and Jasmine Sullivan came up on the stage.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know Jasmine Sullivan is a powerhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she will. And he kept trying to get her to sing.
Mm-hmm.
And you could tell she was like, no, this is your show. Like,
Mm-hmm.
she kept. And she sang a little bit, but for her, it was like, this is not my moment to take away from you. This
Yeah.
is your show. I'm here to enjoy you.
Right.
I paid my ticket
Yeah.
just like everybody else. I want to be here. You saw me in the crowd. You pulled me up. Okay, I get it. And yeah, I'm a phenomenal vocalist, but so are you.
Yeah.
And I'm here to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I want you to do what I came here to hear you do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She could have easily smoked that house out. I mean, 20 minutes taking it, and people would have been like, it's done.
Good night.
You know what I'm saying? He had more songs to do, but she was very cognizant. I think in my mind, because I don't know this lady in real life, but I think in my mind she was very cognizant about the fact that I'm here
To enjoy,
to
sit
ingest
and receive,
what
and learn.
is happening.
Enjoy,
yeah. So I definitely feel that.
Yeah, I think like we gotta humble ourselves. Be more
Humble yourselves.
Yeah, we gotta be more humble. It's not just always about us.
It's never always about you.
It's just have a bit more self-awareness.
Yeah.
Be interested and not interesting. It's not always about all that. Maybe you do have 1,000,001 stories. Good, write a book or 2 or 3 or 5. But that's not always the time to share in conversation. Like, every conversation is not about your life.
I had to learn that too.
Yeah.
Because,
we love
I'm
to tell
a talker.
relatable stories.
We love to tell relatable
we
stories.
love to tell a relatable
and
story,
I have
honey.
lived a lot of lives.
Yeah.
A lot of lives in this life of mine.
Yeah, and it's not bad, but it's just like every story is
I
not really
became more
relatable.
interested in the people I was talking to versus letting them become interested in me.
Yes.
And I think that really shifted the way, because again, going back to having big personality, which I do have, in the sense that I talk to people all the time. Anywhere I go, I'm starting a conversation. I do not care. I'm going to find something to talk about with you. It shifted the way that I started conversations and what was happening. It also helped in my relationships because even like with you and I, and hearing and just sitting back and being a sounding board and listening and not having to interject my personal anecdotes and this is what's happening. Oh, this happening to me. I don't do it anymore, but I used to. I feel like
you did, but you have come leaps and bounds, and you don't know what that did for me. Like, that was such a blessing to me at times where I just needed to get it off. Get it out.
Yeah.
With someone I trusted, and you were one of the very, 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 very few people I trusted.
I didn't know at the time that it was causing a barrier for you.
It stops the person's flow in the middle of the flow. They're trying to release, and you just shut them. You turn the valve
like a levee.
off. Yeah, you just drop the gate, and they're not able to continue because it's like when you're trying to get something out, it's like if you interrupt the flow, I have to go back and figure out where I was, and then I'm over. It's already hard to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
It's already hard to tell things that you really don't want to tell nobody, but you got to get it off your chest. And if you interrupt and try to psychoanalyze me in the middle, or you won't allow me to get off, or tell your own relatable story and talk about yourself, and I'm just trying to release, it's over.
So she telling me about myself because this is how I used to be.
You're not alone.
I used to.
Everybody does that.
Just studying psychology and wanting to be a therapist and doing all these things and thinking
everybody tells.
I got a little bit of, and this, I just want to say this really quickly. Stop with the therapy speak.
Trauma bonding.
You've gone to 2-3 sessions max.
Codependent.
And you're actually still lying to your therapist.
You're not even telling the truth.
You're not even telling the truth. You're just hearing what you want to hear. Enough.
Enough.
Don't come back to the people in your life what the therapist told you and psychoanalyze them with the things that you've gotten because they're false. You're a fraud.
You're a fraud.
Enough.
That's so funny.
Okay, I just had to. That's a commercial
for psychology. Didn't we?
And then you did social, and you know what I'm saying. You went into the field, and sociology. I did a little bit, and so
social work.
Yeah, and it's just I had to learn that. I had to learn. In my mind, I was making myself relatable, and sometimes people don't need relatable. They just need you to listen.
Ooh. Yeah, they don't need all that.
They don't need it.
To listen. They don't need you to tell us similar story. That has a place. Yeah, absolutely. And not say never do that. It has a place, but it's not every time.
A lot of times I will say it's probably not it.
Probably not.
They just need something. And Brene Brown said something, and I don't know, she recently had something that was controversial, so I don't know. But she said something about empathy versus sympathy, and individuals essentially you're in a dark hole. Let's say you're going down the ladder. And somebody's down there, and they can either do two things. They can peek over and be like, hey, yeah, I understand. Oh, yeah, this is this, and this is that. You want a sandwich? Or they can come down with you and be like, I don't fully understand what you're going through, but I'm so glad you told me.
And I'm
And
so
I'm just
sorry, and I'm
here
here for you.
to listen and
That's
what you
all.
have to say.
That's all.
And
That's
that's
all.
it. And a lot of people are really just looking for people to be like, I don't even have to find anything to relate to that.
You want to know my other big pet peeve?
Words, I'm just to say this word last thing. Words outside the word of God. But words really change hard situations. And so we have to realize, like, giving those personal anecdotes and those cliches and stuff, that's not really going to change the situation this person is in. Just let them talk and let them have their moment.
Yeah. Let them have their moment. Give them space.
Give them space.
Yeah. And I literally cannot stand when people interrupt. Like, if you're like deep in, expelling and really expressing yourself, and you interrupt me while I'm already telling you hard things, and you just minimize or don't even validate, like I just didn't tell you something hard, or refocus the conversation back to yourself. It's so annoying. It's incredibly annoying. Here's the thing, and then you just understand, like, I can't have that conversation with that person. You just learn really quickly, like, if I'm in need of someone to listen to me, it ain't gonna be you. I know, and you might have other great things to offer. Great, things to say and powerful, whatever. But if I need to be heard, it's not gonna be with you. Not. And the people we love, they need to be heard by us, right? And I think especially our friendships and our close relationship, our family, they need to be heard by us. And all you have to do is listen and validate the feeling and what they're going through. Like, man, that's gotta feel so hard. It does feel so hard. I'm so sorry. Thank you. It's really that simple.
It's really that simple.
Now, you know what? Actually, I was feeling this way too. And when I was feeling that way, stop doing that, y'all. Don't do. That's not listening. That's not. I know you think you're doing a good thing
by being relatable, but you're not being relatable.
You're not.
It's coming off as taking it away.
They're not going to talk to you. They're not going to tell you anything anymore. Because it's just like, what was the point of that? Yeah. Because I didn't need you to tell me that, what you call it, oppression Olympics?
It don't have to be the oppression Olympics, y'all. Like, if I tell you I'm going through a hardship, you ain't got to be like, well, yeah, because I'm going through. Have you ever talked to an elderly person and they be like, you'd be like, how you doing? Like, even if it's your grandmother or whatever. How you doing, Grandma? I'm okay. Well, my knee's bad and my back is out and my left cataract and the TV don't come on no more and the car engine just went out. And then, your father, he was supposed to bring a turkey by, but he did. And then you realize 15 minutes later, y'all have gone through every bad thing that has happened in their life. That's not the time for you to enter into, but that's also like oppression. Like, I'ma just dump. Like, this is oppression on top of oppression on top of oppression. I feel like elderly people be doing that to one another when they be talking. Yeah, my knee is out. Well, my back is out. Yeah. Well, my this is out. Well, my couch broke. Well, my car broke down. Girl. Well, my TV ain't working. Well, my nephew ain't doing what he's supposed to do. Well, my grandson is in jail. Well, I got to do this with the carburetor. Well, my stove went out. Well, it's like, it ain't got to be a whip. Like, it don't have to be that. It does not have to be that. If somebody is coming to you with a serious problem, or it's even serious to you, even if you don't know it, or if, you don't have to be like, man, I get that because I'm going through something too. And so like your friend comes to you and they're like, yeah, this has just been a really difficult period for me. Yeah, I get that, because also too, I've been going through, unless it lends itself to that kind of atmosphere, let them people talk. Just let and hear. I think it's like understanding how to truly hear the people around you is being interested,
Caring.
genuinely caring,
Slow
genuine
down.
affection for the
Yeah.
people in your life.
Care.
I genuinely care about what's going on with
Genuinely
you.
care.
I genuinely want to know how you're doing.
genuinely
I'm not
wanna
just
celebrate
asking
you.
you how you're doing because I do this in passing to everybody I ever meet, but I
Yeah.
want to know, how are you doing?
How are you? I
And you
genuinely
gonna
care.
give me the answer, and I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna listen. And so I think it does a little bit boil down to like being genuinely interested and being genuinely caring about it,
About them.
about them. We watched another show, The Ultimatum,
Mm-hmm.
and essentially like these people are getting with people that they have not been with before.
My God.
They're giving an
It was a
ultimatum
hot
to
mess,
their
though.
partner, but they're getting with people, and there was one woman who got with this guy, and he genuinely was listening. It was like they went to a fire pit, and she was like, "What's this?" And he was like, "Well, I remember you said you really like fire," and he had like s'mores set up and all this. And then she was like, "I really would love to relax. A spa day at home." He got face masks, and they did like foot rubs, and they did all these things where it was just like, you're genuinely, and it a switch flipped in her mind, because unfortunately the person she was with was not genuinely listening to her. And she was like, there are actually people out there who can actually listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying these things in passing, or I'm just having casual conversation, or what I think is casual conversation, but they're actually listening to what I'm saying.
It's healing.
It's healing.
It is literally
It changes perspectives.
healing. But the Bible says
Come on.
he don't miss. That Bible don't miss. It don't miss. It don't miss. Confess your faults
One to another,
so that you may be healed.
Mm-hmm.
You might be stopping somebody's healing because you're being narcissistic a little bit on the spectrum. On the narcissistic spectrum, you're. I'm not calling you a narcissist, but I'm saying
I think a little bit of us, we all have
all
a little bit of
have this.
narcissism.
We're in our ego.
Self-indulged.
Yeah,
for sure.
with self-focus, and you might be inhibiting someone's healing because you refuse to give them a place to land and listen. You're not allowing them to confess, and sometimes that confession takes a few minutes. They don't come off the back and say, "This is what I did."
Man, when I tell you,
it comes out as they trust and feel safe and open up.
when I have sat back and actually just listened to people, you would be surprised.
Man, it start.
It's like,
and they start telling you because you listen, and that is almost a lost art.
have you ever been out and met someone,
They start telling you,
and they tell you all their business, and be like, "You're so familiar. You feel so easy to talk to." Because they ain't got nobody in their life that's really listening.
That will listen to them.
You just sit back and you're like listening to them, and they've been waiting to dispel these things, and nobody's actually really listening.
Yeah.
And so they feel comfortable
Holding
with a
space.
stranger
With a stranger.
to hold that space.
Holding space for them and validating their feelings.
That's crazy. Not crazy, but I'm saying that it's insane. When I think about it in my mind, I'm thinking about so many times that I've had situations where people are like, "You are so easy to talk to," because I just sit back and I just listen.
And you're able to discern, and you have so much wealth of wisdom, what to say, but
It's not my place.
Wise enough to discern this is not the time
Nope.
to talk. I have a lot I could say, but more than what I could say to you right now, your greater need is to be heard in this moment.
Yeah.
And so that I'm going to give you the gift of being heard and the gift of having an opportunity to confess, and so that you can be healed.
Yep.
That Bible don't miss.
It don't. And for me also too, one of my greatest things, and it's kind of, Lord help me if it's a bad trait, but I love when people underestimate me and I sit back and we're just talking.
You ain't got to know I know nothing.
You ain't got to know I know nothing. You ain't got to know where I've been, what I've talked through, what I've been through, where I've spoken, what I've written. You ain't got to know none of that. At all. You don't have to know any of that. Yeah. I'll just sit back and enjoy. And I'll enjoy.
And we can listen to you talk. Now, if your story is interesting, I keep on listening.
And I've had...
Me. The more interesting.
Come on, keep bringing it. Because I like an interesting
story.
Me too. Now. If you entertain me,
I'm really sit there. Listening.
Oh, so what happened?
Then what happened?
Oh, that's crazy. You're crazy.
That's
They're crazy.
Wild. That's
wild. Like for real. No. I want to end by saying this. Like for me. It goes back to a lot of the conversation we had about validation and being authentic. Mm-hmm. I feel like when you know who you are, it's just like you don't have to prove it in those moments. You can just sit. You know. Thank you, Woodell. I appreciate you. Give me a high five. Give me a high five.
Well, just his hands are lifted up and his mouth is...
He's worshiping right now. He's giving an offering of praise. But
because that's so good.
For real.
You don't have to prove.
And I'm saying this from a place of learning it. When I used to think that I had to prove that I was the smartest person in the room, or that I was the most intellectual, or that I was the most cultural, and I had traveled all these countries and I had done all these things. I was like, yeah, and so I did, and I'm banging, and I didn't realize, like, it turns people off.
It's a turn off.
You don't have to, and I started really like, I'm just like,
it's a turn off.
And I would think back about conversations, because I play things like back in my movies in my head, and I would go back through the things of my night. I'd be like, that didn't go well. That didn't go well. And then I would see myself and I'd be like, you are a jack. I would say that to myself, you are a jackass. Like, for real. What the H are you doing?
What are you doing?
Why are you talking this much?
Why are you talking this much? You know, that's a trauma response where you
absolutely. Absolutely for me.
And you talk when you're nervous. The lady on the show we just watched, we've been watching The Later Daters.
Oh yeah, she was pessimistic.
Yeah, but when she gets nervous, she will overtalk.
Yeah, it was the same for me, because as big of a personality as I have, I almost grew up, like, even though I have multiple siblings, I grew up almost as like a single only child, right? And so I had characters, I did all kinds of stuff in my mind, but I didn't really, like, I had friends, don't get me wrong, like, but going out, it would be like, like, I just want to, like, get people to like me and do this, and, like, so I'm just like, and, like, doing all these different things and talking about all these different things that I thought were so cool, and dumping, even, like, sometimes you could do it not necessarily in a trauma response, but if you're overzealous about something. And excited. Because I would do that about things I would be excited too. And like, I got this new game. And then, and you don't understand, you looking like, like Steve Arkell. You're not Steve Arkell, you're Steve Urkel. Relax. You're not Stefan Arkell, you're Steve Urkel. Like, relax. And it's okay to be Steve Urkel, but, like, you don't have to get overzealous in certain situations. Like, you can be relaxed and you can talk about these things and they don't have to dominate.
And but it's just like, give other people space. You know, the class clown, he would, like, take over everything.
Absolutely.
And if you are funny and you have a vibrant, big personality, you just have that. And no one's saying don't be that. but give space for other people
Absolutely.
to be present as well.
Do you
And
ever
be
remember?
interested in other people?
Do you ever remember in those scenarios where the class clown would like be on 10 and then the one kid would say something and shut everything down? I've seen that so many times, and it's just like, oh, it was so funny. And they just like, okay, yeah.
Hold space. And even if you have that amazing gift where you can just entertain at the drop of a
Because we entertain us. We just
entertain
be,
each other's.
because we entertain ourselves. So I'm just
do.
going to entertain myself all the time. I don't care where I am. If I'm having
do.
a dull moment, I'm going to entertain myself.
We
Period.
do. And you can just turn it on like that.
Yeah.
But you still can enter a room and be interested in other people.
Absolutely.
And if it naturally comes out, your jokiness, your love, your amazing person naturally bounces off.
Yep.
But you don't have to try to conquer the room.
Yep.
Just be.
Yep.
And share that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. So just hear people for what they're saying in the moment. You know, okay, Wendell had to go back.
Wendell,
He
he's
fell
fine.
out. We had to put him.
He's
In
just
the prayer.
resting.
We had to put him in the prayer room.
Resting.
He resting in the Word of God. But give people the space to talk and do what they want to. Get out what they need to get out,
Oh, man.
because
It's so powerful.
I'm trying to tell you.
You healed me. You helped me. I'm not finna cry on this last episode. You did. When I went through my divorce, it was many a night where you're one of the very, very few people I could talk to and trust and wouldn't have my business all over.
Girl,
And
to this day.
to this day, it's on lock like Fort
I
Knox.
ain't telling
We
nobody.
don't tell nobody nothing. But you know, remember that time our other friend put somebody else in a group chat? I said, get this stranger out the group chat with our personal things in here. My business all up in this group chat. Get this stranger out of here.
Tara side texted me. She's like, "Who is this Hoppo? Who is this woman?" I said, "I don't know. I don't have this phone. I don't have this number saved in my phone, so I don't know who's this. This stranger."
Stranger.
I said,
He was a stranger.
And so she was like, so how do we tell her to get out? Because I'm about to tell her to get this stranger out of here. So I said, let me handle it. Let me handle it. So I told her, called the other friend. I was like, you can't just be putting people to our group chat like this. You
Please.
gotta let it go. And she was
Not
gone.
with this classified
And she was
information
gone.
up
She
in
was
here.
gone. She was gone, but I'm trying to tell you. I said, that's my friend. She going through something. And if it's 2 a.m. or if it's 12 in the afternoon, we're going to talk. And I'm going to just sit back and I'm in my bed and I'm listening. And I'm not falling asleep. I'm listening. I'm there and I'm listening to what is happening.
God really. If we can hurt people, we can hit. If we can hurt and wound people, we can heal people.
Absolutely. If you can hurt them, you have the ability to heal them.
You have a healing
because I done hurt some people.
Abilities, you know.
Forgive me, people I've hurt.
You know, and so to be a sounding board in a safe space and someone I could get it off my chest and wasn't judging me for it and wasn't knocking me down a peg and telling me I deserved. You know what I'm saying? People do all kind of weird stuff when you're at a
Which is crazy.
I
couldn't even imagine that, but I know it happens. I know that happens. I could not have imagined a friend calling me in despair.
Yeah. And
saying these things and then pointing the finger back at them or like being like, well, you should think about this. Like, no.
Yeah.
Let's just
and there's a place for self-evaluation, and there's a moment for that.
And reproach, and reprimand for sure.
You know, and correction, and someone to be like,
but
well, that was not the best thing to do, but I see this, you know. But in that moment, the moment that I just needed a safe place to land and confess. And there's a place. Because healing is a process, and there's a place where you like have to look at your own stuff, and there's a moment for that.
I've been there with you too.
Hello, well, we got to look at my what's my lunch, my own situation, and so there's a place for that, but there's also a place where I need hold me, help me. I'm
I did not realize in the moment how valuable that was, and that also helped me
priceless
to understand the value in being there and just being present, because I had learned that skill already through the grace of God.
Yeah.
Previously, showing up and not having to be like, like, even with my humor, because I'm good for inserting a joke somewhere.
And there were moments where
I would insert a joke, but there were moments where I was like,
just let me, you just
nope.
you just let me.
It's not
get
gonna
it
happen.
You let me get it off, and you let me just emote, in a just in safety.
People are looking for safety. They're looking for safe landings. You want to think about it like your friends are parachuting and they're jumping out of the plane, and they're like, this is all I got to do. And they're like, where can I land? Is this person like, and they do the parachute, and it's like, I'm going to land here. And if they land there and it's unsolid ground and they slip, they're never going to do that again.
Man, never doing it again.
A lot of people won't do that. Even in romantic relationships, especially men won't do that again.
Oh, man. Oh,
absolutely not. They will never do that. You can only fool me once, baby.
And I think so powerful is like, we don't talk about this enough, is to be a confidant.
A confidant.
A confidant is someone you can confide in. That's not going to tell the world your business. That's not going to have your business spread across the street and people know what's going on. And
when I tell you that's so important. When I tell you that's so
like
important.
They need to be able to trust that you are going to keep it on lock. Really keep it locked down and not and not tell your business for sport. Cause you bored and you just want to talk about something.
Baby.
You gossip for sport. And so eventually you're going to run out of topics and I'm going to be the next topic.
You had something to say to the people today because, baby, for sport is serious.
For sport. And so it's something to be said about having somebody who will listen and without interrupting and will be a safe space and not tell your business.
Right. Because there are certain instances where people will tell portions of things because they trust people to pray with them. They trust that it will elevate the situation from where it is. A lot of times you don't always have to tell the whole business.
Yeah, no.
We have things where it's like, I just need prayer on this.
Yeah, for sure.
I just need you to pray. Just go out and
did
tell.
You know there's such and such and then
I cannot imagine.
Yeah, for sport, because you're bored.
Because you're bored is crazy.
Yeah, because you don't have anything else to talk about.
It's crazy.
Because you just want to talk about somebody or something. So,
them are gossipers. If you're with a gossiper, then don't ever tell your business. Don't ever open yourself up.
Oh, baby, because if they telling they business,
if they gossip about everybody to you,
they telling.
And I need you to understand what gossip is versus just talking. But like gossiping is very different. Your secrets, all kind of stuff, for sure.
Yeah. So I just, it is so powerful. It is such a powerful thing to do, to be able to do for someone. It's invaluable. And I think if we're able to learn how to do it, we could save people's lives.
Man.
Because
I can believe that.
Some people just feel so alone and so misunderstood and so isolated and without anywhere where they feel like they can be honest and tell the truth about who they are and what they're going through without, and I think we could save some lives if we just are willing to just and listen and validate someone's experience. Nobody says you have to agree. Nobody said what they did was perfect, but validate that they experience. That had to hurt, man.
This is a full circle moment. I want you to understand. I don't think you know, but we did an episode. I went to visit Tara in Texas when she was living in Texas.
Okay.
A year and almost a half ago at this point.
Okay.
And we talked about letting people have their moment.
Yeah.
And it was like you did the iconic shut up.
Oh, shut up. Oh yeah.
Shut up.
Shut up.
And let people have their moment.
And let people have their moment. That was one of the best lessons I've ever learned.
Yeah. It taught me a lot too. And we are full circle now. And now you got her as a full-time professor. How great is that? Like, oh my gosh. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Because why wouldn't you?
Yeah, so it's so powerful. And how we can, our relationship with people and our friendships, we can save them. I mean, we can
save them. Listen, people be going through a lot. Some people will never tell you the depths of what they're going through. A lot of people actually, you won't know the full. It'll be pieces enough to keep them going. But man, oh man, if we listen to those pieces, what would that jigsaw look like if we sat back and instead of like making it about us and they're taking jigsaws away and they're taking pieces away and it's like, I'm empty. Versus listening, it's like, I can put this jigsaw here. I put this piece here. And I'm putting this piece here. And I'm like, I'm making sense of this just frazzled puzzle in my head or my being or whatever I'm going through that's helping me to get through, even just to the next day. Sometimes people just need to talk to get from day to day, you know? And again, we're not everything. We're not God.
Bruh,
we're not God. Nobody's God.
We struggle in our own different ways.
Everybody struggles.
Yeah.
So, we just gotta listen. Just shut up. Be quiet.
See, this time I didn't tell y'all to shut up.
I'm mimicking what she said. Shut up. Be quiet. And let people have their moment. And really be present in the moment. And I think you said something like put your phones down. Put them down. Be present. Be there with them. Look in their eyes.
Why you can't look in somebody's eyes?
Because you can't look in your own eyes.
But when you talking, you can look in their eyes. But when they talking, you can't look in their eyes.
Well, you want to know what's interesting? A lot of times, people can look at you when you're talking, and they can't look at you. So it's like, if I'm talking to you, you would normally be looking away, and I'll be looking at you. If you're talking to me, I would normally be looking. But eye contact is actually really a huge proven mechanism of like strengthening your ability to communicate. Honestly, if you can make direct eye contact, that enables you to be able to communicate effectively, because you're not really thinking about what's coming next. You're saying what's happening. As we talk to each other, it's like, yeah, we think, but think about it in business. Business people, they make direct eye contact. 500 million on the table. This is what we're going to do. 500 shares, blah, 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 blah. They don't break it. And so, but if you think about in situations where, let's say you're a worker and your boss is telling you something you don't want to hear, you're not looking at them. You're just like...
It's like childish. It's immature.
Because you can't take that.
You can't take it. Yeah.
And so we need to be able to learn how to have hard conversations, which can be another episode, because hard conversation is very different than individuals. It's very different than a listening. But listening is a part of having hard conversations for sure.
For sure.
But yeah.
For sure.
We just want y'all to get out here and just like let people have their time.
I never forget an experience I had working at working at a place, Boys and Girls Club. I can share that's no biggie. And I was like a lower level employee, but it was this one man. Shout out to Mr. Kevin, and he had this ability to make everybody feel important. He's like he's this high level executive. He doesn't have to talk to us, but for some reason, he just talks to everybody. And I remember going and he just always was so personable, going and asking a question. And he literally stopped what he was doing. He said, have a seat. He was doing something when I came in. He stopped everything he was doing. He sat and said, what can I do for you? And he was just present with me. And I couldn't believe it. Wow. Because I knew how busy he was. And he's this big level guy. And I'm just this little nothing employee.
Wow.
But he made me feel so heard and valued.
Wow.
And he listened to me answer my question and didn't start doing what he was doing again until I was done.
Wow.
And I'm not always good at that.
That's true.
But,
yeah.
Sometimes I'll be like, I'm listening. I'll tell you I'm listening. You know what I'm saying? I do be listening because I do multitask, but I do be listening. But I could be better, a lot better at that. And I was like, I was important enough for him to stop what he was doing. And I never forgot that.
Wow.
Never forgot how that made me feel.
Wow.
When he just took the time to listen to me. Yeah. I never forgot that.
Drop in the comments if you've ever had a boss or someone who is upper level talk to you.
Yeah, talk to you as a person, human, important.
I may have one comment in this. If I was listening, I probably would have one comment. In the many, many jobs I've had. I've had a lot of jobs. So that is amazing.
Yeah. Shout out.
And it made you feel seen.
Made me feel seen. I was like, I didn't even know people did that. I didn't know people did that. He just was like, yeah.
This is to our CEOs too. Sometimes you have to have hard conversations with
and he's probably like next to the CEO.
But our big bosses, shot callers, ballers, who be dipping in the bins with the spallers.
And anything he needed from me, I was like, what you need? Because he showed me that level of just care.
And respect.
And respect and consideration.
I think I want to end on that note.
Yeah.
That when you listen to people, it shows respect.
And care. For sure.
We talked about it being genuine, but it really, and I don't think we talk enough about what respect. We think about respect like money, power, respect, what you need in life. Like, no. In our minds, we constitute a lot of times as respect what people revere as important to us, as important to them. Mm-hmm. And so then it's like, if I talk about this and it's important to me, and they are like, whatever with it, and they show that same like revert, or they do whatever, just listen, it shows respect back to me. Again, going back to the conversation we had a couple of episodes ago about if my birthday is important to me and it doesn't matter to you, then we can meet in the middle, and what do we do about expectations with that. So yeah, I think respect and genuineness and being present and caring.
It touched me.
I can imagine that.
This was probably 8 years ago. Probably 18 years ago. And I never forgot it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is major.
Yeah.
You want to know? So I work just a little bit of tidbit, some of the work that I do. We onboard people, and one of the things that in my specialty of thinking about that factory is like, we need to have someone on a higher level meeting these people in their onboarding, whether it be the president,
that's awesome,
or if it's virtual, whatever it is, and not just a video, but like actually like taking the time, 15 minutes, whatever.
Yeah.
Taking it out of the day, and it has just transformed some things.
They feel seen. You know me. Because how many random worker that you don't even know?
Random worker 17105. Yeah. right? And so it's just like, and it has completely transformed some
That's
of the
amazing.
stuff that is happening, because it's just like, yeah, how
They feel connected. They
there
feel
are so many
apart.
people who come in and be like, I mean, the president, like, how does this happen? Like, what is this, an accident? Like, what's going on? Like, no, it's a part of like you coming on board. We appreciate it. We're onboarding you, and
We
we
know
feel
you. We
like
see
it's
you.
important, and we want to create longevity
And buy-in and community.
and
and
yes,
partnership. Yeah.
and so
Morale,
absolutely,
for sure.
that is so important. I love that. Well, y'all study guide, y'all homework assignment this week. What Tara, what you thinking?
Stop what you're doing. If someone wants like, we're all gonna work on it. I need to work on it because
Yep.
you know, when someone wants to come talk to you, and I know your time is important, yada yada yada. You got stuff to do. I get it. We all do. But like, if they're genuinely coming to talk and they need you to listen, stop what you're doing. Look at them in their eye. Listen, give space for them. Don't interrupt. Don't tell a relatable story. Just literally be present, ask follow-up questions, and, you know, just be a soft place to land and validate their feelings.
Absolutely. And I'm so sorry in my mind, because we doing the songs now. We talked about Spice Girls. I'm thinking, stop right now. Thank you very much. I need somebody with a human touch. Hey, you, always on the run. Gotta slow it down, baby. Gotta have some fun. Like, for real. I agree with that. Stop and actually think about if you're listening to people as they're talking.
Yeah.
What are they saying? If you don't have, if the situation calls for it, because sometimes it doesn't cause for it, but depending on it, if you don't have 2 to 3 follow-up questions, you weren't listening.
Ooh!
And that doesn't mean you have to ask them in the moment.
Waddell said, that's good. He's gonna lift his hand. He said, he know that's right.
But for real though,
Waddell.
Waddell know,
Waddell.
and we know. And to be honest, 2 or 3 questions will always pop up if you're actually active listening. That doesn't mean you're going to ask them in the moment, because there have been moments. You talked about how we went through your tough time, and I had questions at the moment because I was actively listening, but I knew, and I gotta be honest. Also, the Holy Ghost was like, "This is not the time to ask those questions."
Be discerning.
It was a discernment, but also too, I knew in certain times where that wasn't happening. This is not the time to ask those questions. We'll talk about this later. That's not important.
Not important.
But if you don't have 2 to 3 questions to ask after you have a deep conversation with someone, we ain't talking about you talking about the tacos across the street.
Man, how did that make you feel?
Right. Then you were not actively listening. You weren't. And I think that's the study guide for this week.
Yeah, man.
I want y'all to have I want y'all to think about the conversations you're having with people. And if it comes up, don't force it if it's organic. Actively listen to what these people need and think about, how am I actively listening? So do I have a question, 2, maybe 3 questions of what they said? And it doesn't have to be anything deep. They could just be talking to you about their future plans. Maybe in 2025 they're thinking about, man, I want to do this and I want to do that and I want to do this. You should have a couple of follow-up questions for them, and they shouldn't be how do you put this? They should be questions about what they talked about, not about future fears or plans or whatever is happening. So if they say, man, I would really love to start a food truck in 2025, the question shouldn't be, how are you going to do that? Where are you getting the loan from? that shouldn't be the question. That's
Absolutely not.
That's not active listening.
Absolutely not.
Active listening, if they talk in depth, yeah, I saw this and I love this and I want to do this and I feel like I can do XYZ and it was just amazing and then I can build it up and I've been thinking about this and I've been thinking about that. Like, what do you think? Man, where did you come up with the idea with that? That's so cool.
How long have you been
thinking about this?
Man, so exciting.
A food truck, like, man, you are taking a risk. You got the menu already.
Wow.
So what else are you thinking about adding to the menu? Are you thinking about taking anything away? Yeah, these foods sound good. Like, I know you like this food. Are you thinking about adding this to it as well? Mm-hmm. Those are the kind of questions that add to a conversation. And not subtract from a conversation.
So good.
You want to add. Mm-hmm. So we talked about being interested versus being interesting. Mm-hmm. You want to add value to these kind of conversations versus subtract. Because the more you subtract, the more they're going to subdue themselves and they're going to close off. And I ain't telling you nothing else, and we ain't talking about nothing else, and we're done. So,
walking away.
And we love Wendell.
Woodell.
Woodell would like to let us know that he is leaving the high note. But yeah, so that is us. Y'all got a bonus episode as far as like extended this season for this episode. We love it. We love to be with you all. Drop in the comments what your best practice is for active listening. Listen to understand, not listen to respond. That is what active listening is, right? And so we're not just trying to respond. We're just listening to understand what is actually happening in the conversation. So drop your best practices in the comment description below. You know where to find us. We are at Funny Podcast. I'm Kristen. This is my lovely co-host Tara. At Funny Podcast, that is at FUNIPODCAST. That is on Twitter. That is on Instagram. We are also on YouTube as you are watching us right now. Friendship University Podcast. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Send it to the last people you listened to or didn't listen to.
Because you're not a
good listener. And let them know, or send it to the people you think are not good listeners, and they need to know how to be a good listener. Talk about subtweet. We love it. We love to see it. We can't wait to talk to you again next week. We're so glad you joined us, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.